What's up, guys? Today is July 14, 2024. I'm taking step two on July 20, 2024. So less than 6 days until I take the exam. My heart definitely skipped a few beats as I said that. So I took another practice test yesterday. I took the free 120. That's 120 free questions that the NBME, the people who make the exam, provide on their website. And so I took that exam, and in this video, I just want to talk about how I did on that exam, how I feel about how I did, and then kind of like my plan for the future and some reflection about what I can do within these next 6 days to be as productive and efficient as possible. All right, so this is the Excel sheet where I've been keeping track of like how I've done on all the exams. So like you see all the questions from UWSA 2 on here, which I bombed. See all the questions from NBME 10, 11, 12, etc. Um, and this is the free 120. And as you can see, I already started to review it a little bit. And I'll show you guys my score. So this is the score I got on the free 120. I got 73% on the first section, 73% on the second section, and 60% on the last section for a total of 68%. And then this is kind of how my trend has been. So I started my dedicated period in March, took my first practice exam, March 23, NBME 11, absolutely got destroyed, got a 176 on that, crawled up to a 209 by April 25. But at that point, I had already taken 6 weeks off. I had to get back to classes. So then I took 4 weeks, 8 weeks of electives. I took an ICU elective. I took an internal medicine sub internship elective. I got back into it a couple of weeks ago. And then I took another practice exam last week, UWSA 2, the UWorld Self Assessment 2. I made a video about that last week as well. And I got a 209 on that. Extremely disappointing score because basically I had zero progress from April to July, even though I had been keeping up with Anki and stuff and some UWorld questions during my two electives. And then this is it. This is the free 120 I took today. And then the exam will be on the 20th. So 68%. They don't give you like an official score for the free 120. Maybe because it's not enough questions. I don't know. So how do I feel about this? Well, on the plus side, I feel good that I feel like I'm finally passing. Now, you might be wondering what's passing. So on step one, a passing score was 60%, 60. On step two, it's higher than 60% because on NBME 14, here on NBME 14, these are all the questions of NBME 14, which I took note of, and I retook the exam recently, and these were the ones I got wrong again. And you can see on NBME 14, on my raw score, the first time I took it was 60%, 60, and yet my score was a 209. So I feel like percentage wise, it's got to be around like a 62 through 65 is a passing score. So 68 is passing. Okay, that much is good. I'm passing. But and then the other good thing about it, just focusing on the pros right now, is I'm seeing improvement. 209 to 209, extremely disappointing. I mean, low key depressing. That sucked. I didn't feel good about it. I felt like an absolute idiot. To be honest with you guys, I still kind of do, but not as much because the stuff I've been doing last week hasn't been working. I'm seeing some improvement. Okay. But then the con of this is it's still a low score. It's still kind of a garbage score. And so am I happy with this score? No. Do I need to improve on this score? Absolutely. And I have less than 6 days to do it. That's the con. Um, so what's my plan? What am I going to do in these next few weeks? So I'll share with you guys my calendar I made here. So what's today? Today is July 14. Okay, and my plan for today is to review the free 120 and then divine intervention. There's this podcast guy named Divine Intervention. He does daily. No, he made like a whole podcast series, 8 hours worth of content just on this free 120 exam, and he explains every single question. So what I've been doing is listening to Divine's podcast, and then as he explains the answers to different questions, I've been kind of taking notes in this Excel sheet and making Anki cards for the questions I get wrong. The good thing about this method is that Divine does a really good job of explaining his answer choices. The bad thing about this method is it takes forever. Like I said, he has 8 hours worth of content on his 8 hours worth of explanations, and I've gone through two of his podcasts. So I've gone through about an hour and a half worth of his explanations. So that means there's like 6 hours of explanations left to go, 6 to 7 hours. It's 8 p.m. So am I going to get this done today or tonight? Probably not. Unfortunately, not. So, because then after midnight, that's when my Anki deck resets, and I have to start redoing Anki, and I have like 1,000 Anki cards to do. Just those Anki cards alone take like 4 hours. So, and then while I'm doing Anki, I'm gonna watch something on the side, and by something on the side, I don't mean a movie. I don't mean any procrastination garbage. I mean like I'm gonna watch maybe a divine intervention lecture, maybe an Emma Holiday lecture, something like that on the side. Um, so then tomorrow I'm gonna have to do more for your 120 review. Hopefully I'm efficient enough today after I finish making this video that I won't have as much to do tomorrow, because I still need to review a bunch of NBMEs. Like last week, my plan was to review all of the NBMEs. I only got through two of them, NBME 14 and 13. And so I need to review NBME 12. I need to review NBME 11. I need to review NBME 10. And then I need to go back through all of those NBMEs and review all the questions I got wrong again. And the way I do that is I have a PowerPoint where I screenshotted all of the NBME questions and answers. And what I do is if I get a question right the second time when I'm going through those PowerPoints, what I'll do is I'll hide those slides. So then that way, when I present the PowerPoint, it only has the questions which I didn't hide, which are the questions I got wrong the second time. So the plan for next week is to go back through all the NBMEs, redo all my incorrects. Okay, so 15 and 16, I'm going to review the NBMEs, because just being honest with myself, even though I have high expectations, maybe I probably won't get through all the NBMEs on 15 and 16. And then there's this channel called AJ Monix. What he does, and you might have seen I posted something about this on my channel's community section. He makes videos where he basically summarizes all of the high yield stuff in 120 to 200 questions. He summarizes all the high yield stuff from the NBME exams, from the shelf exams, the CMS forms, and UWorld. And he takes his content straight out of UWorld and shelf. I know because I looked some of his stuff up while I was watching this video. It's straight out of like UWorld and the shelf, so it's very high yield stuff. So I watched his cardiology video already. I watched his respiratory video. I watched his OB-GYN video. I watched his surgery video. I watched his neurology video. I have to watch the rest of his videos and make Anki cards for the questions that he says, which I get wrong. So I'm gonna watch all of AJ Monix on Tuesday once I review the NBMEs. If I have any extra time, I'll do the UWorld incorrects. Now Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, I don't really know yet. I don't have a good plan yet for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Am I going to do the old free 120? Am I going to take NBME 9? Or am I going to do the incorrects for UWorld? I don't know which is the best choice. So if any of you guys watching this video, if you have any advice or input for me, I'm more than happy to receive it. I mean, I'm very grateful. And I'm very grateful for everybody who watches these videos. And I mean that sincerely. And I really, really hope that this is helping you guys somehow. Because I feel like a lot of it is just me complaining about stuff. But anyway, so I don't know what I'm going to do on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, but I'm going to do something productive, something helpful. I'm not going to let my brain rot on these last few days of prep. I'm going to be ready for the exam on Saturday. So with all of that being said, I got my reflection on the test out of the way. I got my plan out of the way. Last thing I want to do is just talk about a few other things I need to keep in the back of my mind, as divine intervention says, to be successful in these last few weeks. The first thing is I need to keep grinding. I cannot procrastinate. My natural state is to be lazy as hell. I mean, like I said in my last video, I don't enjoy studying. It's like it takes a massive amount of inner strength for me to just open UWorld or open these exam reviews, so I need to just grind. I need to tell myself this is hard work and you got to do it. You got to do it. So I got to keep focused. And then the thing is, like I do better under pressure. So like last week when I absolutely bombed that exam, I was stressed as hell. And, I had a very productive week. I still procrastinated a little bit, but not nearly as much as before. And so I was going hardcore last week. But yesterday, to be perfectly honest with you guys, I took that exam. I came home and I told myself I'm going to do all this stuff. I'm going to do a quick reflection video and I'm going to start reviewing all this stuff. But instead, what I did is I ate dinner and I said, how about I watch like a 20-minute, video? And the video I watched, the video I watched was like a 20-minute episode of like Courage the Cowardly Dog. And like to be honest with you guys, I felt a little like, dumb, like watching a cartoon, as a grown man, but it's 20 minutes long, is what I told myself. And then it's not a series, so like there's no cliffhangers, none of that garbage. Like I watched those 20 minutes and it's over. That was my thought, right? So I watched this 20-minute episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog. And then after I watched it, it was kind of a weird episode. It was like about like so it was about like, Courage the Cowardly Dog. It's about like this family in the middle of nowhere. And then in this episode, the family got visited by some like weird guy. Well, I won't explain it. It's all like complicated, but anyways, what the episode made me like curious, like why does this one character hate this other character, right? So I Googled that and I read a Reddit post about that, right? And then I also thought, this was kind of like one of them. This was a pretty weird episode. Like, is there some kind of underlying meaning to this episode or something? So I read a bunch of stuff about that on Reddit. And then, because I was on Reddit after I got done reading those posts, I just started scrolling on my phone and I started, there's a lot of stuff happening in the news lately. So I started reading about that. Um, and then the next thing I know, I look up at the clock and like 2 hours have gone by, right? So I can't do that crap. I mean, like I said in my last video, there's no such a thing as multitasking. So I can't procrastinate while I'm studying. And then procrastination is procrastination. Like I can't tell myself I'm gonna, just relax for 20 minutes. And then next thing I know, 2 hours go by. So these next, 6 days, there's no procrastination. I need to be on my game as soon as I wake up. And then once I put my head on the pillow, I need to be on my game and I need to study. Um, so and then the next thing is this. I slept at 5 a.m. yesterday and I woke up at like 1:30 p.m. And then I scrolled a bunch of crap on my phone, like again, like news, random stuff on Reddit is just garbage, right? Because what I was trying to do my Anki cards because I still had like 100 Anki cards left on my phone, but I got bored and I started doing other crap. So I got out of bed at like 2:30, right? So just a huge like waste of time. And then that's when I finally, started to do some studying. So a few things about that. First of all, the exam starts at 8 a.m. on Saturday, and the testing center is an hour away, which means I need to be out the door by like 6:30 to 7 a.m. And um, so I need to wake up at 6 a.m. on Saturday. If I have to wake up at 6 a.m. on Saturday, today is Sunday, uh, I need to start getting in that routine. So the thing is, I'm still going to be up until 4 a.m. tonight because that's what I'm used to, and I can't force myself to go to bed. But tomorrow morning, I'm setting my alarm to like 8 a.m. Once it rings, I'm getting my ass out of bed. I'm driving to campus. I'm gonna do my morning routine, and I'm gonna drive to campus to the library. I'm gonna start studying, right? And then as the week goes on, I'm gonna wake up earlier and earlier because I need to start getting in this routine. Okay. And then the other thing besides changing my schedule from being a night person to a morning person, I've never been a morning person, but I've got to do it. I got to force myself to do it. The other thing I got to do is get used to doing get used to doing untutored blocks because when I was taking that test on Friday, I mean when I was taking that test yesterday, I just felt this anxiety after every single question. Did I get that question right? Did I get that question wrong? To be honest with you guys, on a few questions, I even hit Control T and Googled stuff, because I couldn't like bear the anxiety of knowing whether or not I got that question wrong. So I can't be in that mood. I can't be in that mindset. There's 9 blocks coming up next Saturday, 9 hours of test. I think it's actually 8 blocks, 9 hours total. So I got to get used to that. So that's why on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm gonna either do my UWorld incorrect. I'm gonna do like 3 blocks untutored, or I'm gonna do the old free 120s. I'm gonna do something which builds up my stamina like that. Because even on the exam, I just shared with you guys my exam score on the free 120. You can see I did okay on the first and second sections. Third section was an absolute bomb. And you can even see this is block 3. I got question 3 wrong. I got a few questions wrong here. And then just absolutely got destroyed on these last few questions here. So if my stamina is just running out on the third block, that's not okay because there's 8 blocks coming up on Saturday. So I got to be prepared for that. So yeah, that's all I got to say for this video. Um, if you're studying for step 2, like if the person watching this is studying for step 2, best of luck. You got this. Keep working hard, keep grinding. You can do it. And that goes for me as well. If I'm watching this video in the future, keep working hard. You can do it. Okay. Inshallah, God willing. All right. So, all right. Thank you guys for watching and see you guys later.